the front of the net. Comes for confidence.
We want Skinner. We want Skinner. I got to tell you, crypto.com, all you fans that were there for the 2 first home games, you guys are my kings of the week. Just want to tell you that right now. You guys are kings of the week. You inspired the boys. Oh my goodness. It was incredible, especially after that big comeback in the first game. Anyways, I just want to shout out to all the people who were at crypto.com both Monday and Wednesday. So we're going to go ahead and just get into the podcast. How you doing today, Cody?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, I guess. I bet as good as can be expected, I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I had a good last couple days of work, so got off work early yesterday. Got to enjoy more of a Friday, even though I was still in bed by 9 p.m. because I was just tired.
Yeah, well, I had a guy start and quit after one day in training. So we're still going to be a man short for at least a little bit. So, but this next week I'm on staycation. Staycation. Don't have to go to work for a week and I get paid for it. Can't ask for more than that. So let's go ahead and get right into those playoff games. So,
yeah. All right, you want to go over game 1?
Yes, sir. Let's go to game 1. This game, let's go to the scoring because this was a game of streaks. First period, at the 2:49 mark, our new addition, I think he might have been the best new addition any team had during the trade deadline. Andrei Kuzmenko gets his first goal in his first that was his first playoff game.
Was it really?
On the power play from Fiala and Kempe to put the Kings up 1-0. Then Quentin Byfield, who has been steady here in the second half of the season, starting to look like the player we expect. He scored his first at the 1927 mark from Doughty and Anderson to put the Kings up 2-0. Now we go to the second period, and who else but Andre Kempe scores his first from Kuzmenko, his first, and Kopitar, his first. At the 14:47 mark to put the Kings up 3-0. Then Philippe Deneau gets his first from Byfield, his first. A lot of firsts here, guys. And the Kings are up 4-0 at the 17:43 mark of the second period. But just before the end of just before the end of the second period, Leon Draisaitl gets his first from Connor McDavid, his first, and Evan Bouchard, his first at the 19:54 mark. So we're going into the third period with the Kings up 4-1. Matthias Janmark gets his first from Frederick, his first, and Skinner. We want Skinner. No, his first.
Different Skinner.
What?
That's Jeff Skinner, not Stuart Skinner.
Okay. Well, still we want Skinner. I know it's Jeff Skinner. Little joke just to play on that a little bit more. That made it 4-2. Then Fiala gets a power play goal at the 4:59 mark from Kempe as second and Kuzmenko as second to put the Kings up 5-2. And this is when the game started to get crazy. Corey Perry scores his first from McDavid his second and Bouchard his second to make the score 5-3 at the 7:43 mark. Then they pull Stuart Skinner, probably with about 3 minutes to go because they were down by 2. And Zach Hyman gets his first from McDavid, his third, and Perry his first at the 17:56 mark to make it 5-4 Kings. But McJesus comes in and gets his first from Draisaitl, his first, and Bouchard his third to tie the game at the 18:32 mark. Then Philip Deneau on what was described, I think, on the radio as like the knuckle puck.
It was a weird
I have
knuckle
not
puck.
seen I have not seen that goal.
If you literally put like the knuckle puck and the ephus pitch together, that's what it looked like. Yeah.
Anyways, so he scores to make it 6-5, and somehow the Kings don't let them score in the last 52 seconds, and they win game 1, 6-5. Let's go to the stats. Let's see what the stats tell us on this game. Shots on goal, Kings 30-25. Face-offs, 52-48 for the Oilers. On the power play, Kings were 2 for 5, and the Oilers were 0 for 2. Hits, the Oilers won that 42-30. That's a lot of hits.
Playoff hockey.
Yeah. Block shots were tied at 14. Giveaways, Kings won that one 12-11, and they won the takeaways 5-4. Let's go to the 3 stars of the game. Thank you, Cody. I need to smile more because it's been a rough week, even though the Kings have won. It's been a rough week just because of the craziness of the work week and so forth and other things going on. So anyways, Fiala was the 3rd star with a goal and assist. Kempe was the 2nd star with a goal and 2 assists, and Philippe Deneau with the game winner. Plus, he had another goal, which he had 2 goals, no assists for 2 points, was the number 1 star. And I can't say I disagree with that game at all.
No.
So let's go to game 2. Now, this is the game where did we give away our momentum that we have? Anyways, let's go to the scoring. Brandt Clark starts off the scoring in the first period on the power play from Fogle, and that was his first goal ever in NHL playoffs. From Fogle, his first, and Deneau, his first on a wrist shot at the 8:44 mark. Then we go to the second period, and who scored the second goal in the first game? Same guy, Quentin Byfield, gets his second from Gavrikov, his second, and Fogle his second at the 4:14 mark on a wrist shot to put the Kings up 2-0. Kind of looking just like the first game, isn't it? And then Andrei Kuzmenko gets his second on the power play from Kempe his third, and Kopitar his second on a wrist shot at the 10:37 mark to put the Kings up 3-0.
So you're telling me in back-to-back games, the Kings had a 3-0 lead, and each game almost gave it away.
Well, I don't think they gave it away in this game because
I said almost.
let me finish this. Let me finish. Let me finish. Sorry. I keep getting these little crazy notes on my computer. I don't know why I'm getting all this advertising all of a sudden.
Do you know where you're at? Because you know we are live, right?
Yeah, I know, but it's driving me crazy. Sorry, people. Draisaitl got his second from Klingberg, his first ex-Duck, right?
Uh,
He went to the dark side. It was
no,
on a
the
deflection.
duck side. It's the duck side.
The dark side, the dark side. So it's 3-1 after 2. Now, the third period started in 4:05. Ex-King Victor Arvidsson got his first from Kulak, his first, and Podkolzin.
Yep.
Wow. His first at the 4:05 mark to make it 3-2. That's where they're that's where the Oilers end, but the Kings don't. Who comes on strong? Kempe gets his second from Kopitar, his third at the 6:46 mark to put the Kings up 4-2. Then Anze Kopitar gets into the scoring with his first on the power play from Fiala, his second, and Kempe his fourth to make it 5-2. And then Adrian Kempe gets his third from Kuzmenko, his third, and Kopitar his fourth to make it 6-2. And that's how game 2 ends, Cody, 6-2. I mean, they let him come back a little bit. Who had the big finish but the Kings in this game? Let's go to the stats. Shots on goal. Kings again won that 31-26. But this time, the Kings won the faceoff 52-48. Kings were 3 for 5 in the power play, and the Oilers were 0 for 3. Hits, the Oilers won that one again 36-24. Block shots, they won 15-10. They won the giveaways 15-8 and the takeaways 7-3. Let's go to the 3 stars of this game. And I think you could probably say it's going to be the triple K line of obviously third star Kuzmenko with a goal and assist. Second star Kopitar with a goal and 3 assists. And Adrian Kempe, the number 1 star with 2 goals and 2 assists.
Kempe through 2 games, 7 points.
Yes. So far, probably the Kings player of the series so far. So, but let's go to last night's game where now they're in Edmonton. I mean, I don't know if you listened to the game at all, Cody, but we got to hear the Kemper.
It's not the same now.
Wow. But this game started totally different, showing the difference between being home and away. Ryan Nugent Hopkins gets his first from Zach Hyman, his first, and McDavid his fourth at the 2:49 mark to put Edmonton up 1-0. Then Evan Bouchard got his first from Draisaitl, his second on the power play. First power play goal for the Oilers, and they're at home. It's 2-0 Edmonton. But Adrian Kempe scores his fourth from Doughty his second and Kopitar his fifth at the 17-18 mark to make it 2-1 Edmonton, and that's how the first period ended. And we go to the second period. Again on the power play, the Kings, Kevin Fiala gets his second from Kempe his fifth and Kopitar his sixth to tie the game 2-2 at the 5:43 mark. Drew Doughty then on the power play gets his first from Moore his second and Deneau his second at the 15:07 mark and put the Kings up 3-2. Then Connor Brown gets his first from Kane his first and Enrique his first to tie the game 3-3. Trevor Moore then gets his first from Edmondson his first and Deneau his third. And the Kings going into the third period are up 4-3.
You saw that 4-3 goal, right?
I did not. I was driving.
All right, hold on. Let me pull it up real quick. This thing was a thing of beauty. So this is the Trevor Moore one, right?
Yes.
All right. One-handed.
Oh, I heard about it.
One-handed 5-hole. Doesn't get much prettier than that.
Yeah. Well, you learned from Byfield.
Just what a pass to him. Watch. Boom. Gets on his horse. Look, literally one hand. Boop.
Yeah. I wish it could have been the game-winning goal.
That would have been nice.
So we start off the third period, and Evander Kane gets his first from McDavid, his fifth, and Wallman his first to tie it 4-4. And the Kings did, at this moment, think that there was goalie interference.
Which one was that?
Evander Kane's goal. He was like, I think, laying in the blue paint. And it went to review whether he kicked it, because he did kick the puck, but then I guess it hit his stick and went in. So they said the goal was good. And then the Kings asked for a review for goalie interference, and they said no, which I guess that's a subjective thing. It could have been, but they didn't agree with it. So it's now 4-4. And then they go on the power play, and Bouchard scores 10 seconds later to put them up 5-4 on the power play.
I'm watching that. I'm trying to watch. I don't. He was kind of pushed in by Kopitar into the.
Well, he was pushed in by Kopitar a little bit, but they did. I think they shouldn't have done it.
No, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have.
Why give if they lose, they give all the momentum to the Oilers. I mean, I think whoever obviously Hiller would have to probably be the last person to decide that, but he must have gotten information to lead that we should at least fight it. I wouldn't have done it because they got scored on the power play 10 seconds later, and then with a little over 2 minutes left, they pulled Kemper, and McDavid got an empty netter, his second, from Hyman, his second, and Connor Brown got his second on an empty netter from Podkolzin, his second, and the final score of this game was 7-4. So 7-4 Edmonton. And what the shocking thing is I didn't think they would be this high scoring in this whole series. I thought it would have been a low scoring. I mean, I had 5-3, 2-1, 1-3, and we have 6-5, 6-2, and 7-4. So, and now the Kings are only up 2-1, playing tomorrow night. And fans, we need to be supportive. Let's be supportive of our team. Let's keep cheering them on. We definitely would love to see a 3-1 advantage going back home. So that's the game so far. And I go, and we're up 2-1. So I think we need to be positive about that and go from there. So
only start worrying if you lose at home. That's when you need to worry. So, all right. Well, since you did a lot of talking, I'll go over some Ducks news, give you a little bit of a break.
Sounds like a plan.
So for Ducks news, so the Ducks lottery odds are not as good as they have been in years past, but that's a good thing for us in a way. So the Ducks for the first overall pick have a 6% chance of getting the first overall pick and a 6.2% chance of getting the second overall pick. And for the third overall pick, a 0.2% chance. Eighth overall, we have a 54.4% 9th overall, 30%, and 10th overall, 3.2%. God, for once in the Ducks history, can we please move up in the draft? The Ducks in their 32nd draft ever, not once have they ever moved up. They've either stayed pat or they've gone back spots. Let's move up spots for once. That'd be great. There is speculation that the Ducks' top target to replace Cronin would be the current University of Denver head coach David Carl, which is one of the names I said last week. And this is per the Hockey News. Next bit news, Zach Kavanaugh asking Mason McTavish on his upcoming RFA status. And if there's a deal, he said, nothing yet. I'm sure it'll kind of happen as the summer goes on. Obviously, I love it here and hopefully I can stay here. So that's good news that he wants to stay there. And then I believe this was the Monday 32 Thoughts episode where Elliot Friedman mentioned the direction of the team and the young core could spark a lot of interest for the head coaches. He concluded the segment by stating it's going to be a big summer ahead for Anaheim because we got a lot of cap space and we need a new head coach. So do your thing, Verbeek. Do your thing. Our head athletic trainer, Chet Walker, will represent Team USA at the 2025 World Championships. So that's good news. And speaking of the big summer, this is what Pat Verbeek said. I'm going to be active and aggressive in making our team better. This was after the Cronin decision last week. And then Cutter Gauthier and Jackson Lacombe are named to the 2025 USA World Championship team this summer. So we still get to see some Ducks play in the summer, so that's good. And good for Cutter and Jackson to get some time playing with other players like that, which could help their development. Like, look what happened to Leo when he was at the Four Nations. Yeah, he only played one game, but look how much better he looked after that. And then the Ducks had a 75% increase in local TV ratings this last season, thanks to Victory Plus. And that was the highest in the NHL this season. So, I know some people have had certain comments about Victory Plus, like them always having issues with it and everything. I never had any big issues with Victory Plus. I think there was maybe one game where I was having issues. Or I don't even know if it was actually Victory Plus. It could have been ESPN for all I know, too. So, but I enjoyed the ESPN. I just wish they would change the commercials so I didn't have to see the same commercial a million times a game. Like the freaking guy goes and gets his dog's ball with his car. Oh, what was another big one? Oh, all the Jennifer Coolidge Discover ones. I can go without ever hearing that voice again. But yeah. Last bit of Ducks news is John Buccigross on What Chaos seems to really think that David Carl will end up in Anaheim, and he thinks that they will get along great with Pat Verbeek and the owners, the Samuelis. And then I've also seen this morning on Twitter that John Buccigross had a picture with Joel Quenneville next to a picture of Ducks. I mean, for all we know, he could just be interviewing for all we know. But Verbeek, no. Do not do it. I don't want that baggage. Stay away from him. Stay away from Laviolette. Stay away from Gallant. No. No. Stay away from them. Bad. But that's it for Ducks news this last week.
Oh, well, a lot more Ducks news than Kings news.
Well, there's also a lot more Kings games than Ducks games.
That's true. On to Kings news. Liam Greentree joining the Ontario Reign after the Windsor Spitfires ousted out of the OHL playoffs. And unfortunately, a reverse sweep. They were up 3-0, and
Oh,
he was ill, and they lost. Well, I think they lost one game, and then he was ill for game 5. But he came back, and he was the leading scorer in all of OHL playoffs going into that. And the last 2 games, he was held scoreless.
wow.
So he's joining the Reign now. I don't know. I know they lost the other day. I think they played game 2. They lost 2-0 to the Barracudas Thursday,
I
I
don't
think.
know.
So they're playing. I think they're playing today against the Barracudas. It's a 3-game series. If they lose this one, they're out. So maybe Liam can go in there and get a couple goals for him and show him how to do it. But I'm sure he's probably not gonna play a whole lot since they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Maybe just to get up and get an idea how it is to play in the pros. And last bit of news is our NCAA goalie stud, Hampton Slupkinski, is named to the 2025 USA national team. I think they're playing this coming Friday. It's
The
some
World
kind of
Championships?
the World Championships. Yeah,
I have no idea.
I saw that news, and I just wanted to share it. And then I guess we'll go on to league news.
Yeah. A lot of firing so far, and who knows how many more we will see. But the Kraken have fired their head coach Dan Bilesma after just one season with the team. Didn't he play with the Ducks and Kings?
He might, yeah. I think he played for the Kings later in his career.
Yeah,
Did he play for the Ducks?
he did play for the Ducks. I think it was like maybe 1 or 2 seasons, if that. And then speaking of the Kraken are naming their assistant general manager Jason Botterill as the new team's GM, and will be naming Ron Francis as the team president per Arthur Staple.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Also, Lou Lamoriello will not return as the Islanders GM.
that's not a shock. I think they've been wanting. There's been a lot of speculation on that.
Yeah. Well, he's got history, a lot of history in the NHL. That's for sure.
Yeah, Devils, Toronto. I forgot where else he was before that, but Cal Clutterbuck has announced his retirement from professional hockey at the age of 37. He was a third-round pick by the Wild in the 2006 draft, earning 293 NHL points in 1,064 games. Games from 2007 to 2024 with Minnesota and the Islanders.
And the last bit of league news, the Rangers and Chris Drury have agreed to a multi-year contract extension. Obviously, we haven't heard all the terms yet.
Usually when it comes to general manager stuff, and I forgot where I heard this yesterday, is you they don't really tell us anything about like the general manager or their contracts and stuff. You usually hear about coaches and stuff like that. So when it comes to general managers and stuff and like the players of hockey operations or the president of hockey operations, usually you don't hear their term length or how much they're making. So, and I think that was from Elliot Friedman too. That was him saying that. So, all right, Kings of the Week. Who is your King of the Week?
Well, obviously, I kind of shared part of it. I think the fans at crypto.com during the first 2 games, I mean, listening to it on the radio gave me goosebumps. Um, uh, Also, I mean, obviously, player-wise, we gotta go, with Adrian Kempe. I mean, 7 points in 2 games.
Yeah. And my king, I'm gonna just tell you who my King of the Week is.
Yeah, I
And I
see
think
it.
The Koreatown Senior and Community Center Choir.
Well,
I
the
should
the har- the
the
harmonic
harmonica.
players.
Yeah. I don't know if
And
you can see in our title, the LA Harmona Kings.
oh,
Like
I
even
like that.
even Paul Bissonnette was like all over the harmonica thing. Like, and I think that the Kings even sent him a harmonica because he was
Yeah,
just all for it. So, but all right, you want to do predictions?
I do. So obviously, Game 4 is tomorrow night,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna have the Kings winning that 6-4.
6-4. I'm gonna do. Let's see, 6-4. You have the Kings winning 6-4.
I do.
I'm gonna say it's a 2-1 game. I'm not gonna give you a winner. I'm gonna just say 2-1.
Jeez.
Yeah. I think it's just gonna be. We've had a lot of high scoring. I think we're gonna get low scoring game.
Well, I'll be honest with you. High scoring benefits who?
The Oilers.
The Oilers. I think the Kings need to get back to defense first. I mean, it's fun to score goals. Don't get me wrong. I played street hockey for 7 or 8 years. Very competitive leagues, and it's fun to score goals.
Yeah.
But it's more fun to win.
Yeah.
So what
All right.
about in game 2?
Game 5.
I mean game 5. Yeah, because it's
Back
going to at
home.
least go 5 games. Back at crypto.com, I have the Kings winning at 5-3 and knocking out the Oilers.
I'm not gonna give you a winner again. I'm gonna just go with.
That's not going to be fair.
We're doing a point system, so this time. Remember, we're not doing record wise. We're doing points. I'm gonna do.
Yeah, but you had to get everything right on the points, right?
Yeah.
Have you gotten anything right on the points?
I don't know. You're the one that you're keeping track of that.
Well, the first game was 6-5. I had 5-3. You had 3-1.
Okay.
Second game was 6-2 Kings. I had 2-1. You had 5-2. You were close.
I was close.
Close, but still not
remember,
exact.
you get a point for getting the team right, and then you get a point if you get the score right.
Yeah, but we didn't get the score
I
right,
know.
not once.
So if you think about it, I'm taking away from a 50-50 chance on these. So just don't worry about me. I'm gonna do a 4-3 game for game 5.
Okay, so we're gonna do game 6 because I don't even have it going 6. I'm gonna go
Just in case.
5-4 and not give a winner.
I'm gonna do another 2-1 for that game.
And if it goes 7?
We'll worry about that in the next podcast.
Okay.
So, all right, ready again to play the playoff recaps?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll do the East first. We're not going to go into full, detail about everything. Let me get rid of this. All right, playoffs. We're just going to tell you who's leading the series and what we think about it so far. So, first one, Toronto versus Ottawa. Wow, my pick is looking horrible right now because I picked Ottawa in 6, or I believe so.
I'm looking pretty good.
That's fine. I mean, I just know how Toronto is in the playoffs, but then again, Toronto's looking really good so far. I mean, other than Ottawa playing taking those stupid penalties last week in game 1, they've looked better. The last 2 games were an overtime game, so a 1-goal game. So, where do you think this finishes this week, this series?
You mean like 4-0?
or until our next podcast. Do you think this can go
No.
6 or 7?
No, it's
Okay.
going to be over.
I think Ottawa will win 1 game, and then the Toronto will win it in 5.
That would be my guess too.
Yeah. All right, Tampa Bay versus Florida. Florida won both games in Tampa, and I
Yeah.
believe and Hagel got a 1-game suspension for that hit on Barkov. And I
Right.
don't know if Barkov is injured or not. They haven't really said.
Ooh.
So now now Florida is the home team for the next 2. So do you see this series finishing by the time we do our next podcast?
Yes.
What you saying it's finished, and obviously you think Florida's going to take it.
I do. I mean, Tampa Bay couldn't win 1 game at home. That's hard.
So
That's really
let's
hard.
see. Game 6 is next Friday. So
Yeah. That will also be over this week.
and actually they're playing right now, and it's 1-1 right now in the middle of the first.
Okay.
So all right, so I think it's going to be I think it'll end on Friday.
I think you're right.
Yep. Next series, Washington versus Montreal. Washington won both their games at home, Washington won both games at home, and Montreal won their game at home at the Bell Center, which was their first time, even though they made a Stanley Cup run 5 years ago or so, but that was their first playoff game at the Bell Center since 2017. So, what do you what do you think about this one? Game 6 is Friday for them too. Did we lose you? I think we lost my dad again. Yep, I think we lost him. All right, we'll come back when he's alive. Carolina has 2-1 over New Jersey. New Jersey did win that double overtime game last night. So I feel like this one could end this week as well. Are you back?
I'm back. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened either. All right, so Washington and Montreal. Is it finishing this week?
Oh, you didn't even hear that, huh?
Nope. All I saw was
I don't think so. One is I think Washington was lucky to win one of the games at home.
I think
Montreal was in that game.
I think that was game 1. So
yeah, I don't
so
know.
game 6 is Friday.
I don't think it's over.
You don't think it's over? I think it's over by Friday. I think the Capitals will win at least by Friday or on Friday. All right, Carolina, New Jersey.
And they're 2-1 also.
Mm-hmm. And this last one was a double overtime winner.
Yeah, I think it's over by Friday.
Yeah, the game 6 is on Friday.
I think it's over by Friday.
All right, now we move to the West.
Okay.
Winnipeg versus St. Louis. Game 6 is also on Friday. A lot of games on Friday so far. I think it's over by Friday.
Me too.
I think Winnipeg wins the game tomorrow and then maybe finishes out at home for game 5.
I agree.
All right. The series that's kind of shocking me so far, Colorado and Dallas. Dallas has won the last 2 games.
Yeah.
In overtime, too. So
yeah.
they're leading the series 2-1 over the Colorado Avalanche, who I picked to win.
I wouldn't give up on them.
No, I wouldn't either.
They're too talented to give up on.
I know. I'm just saying.
I think that's gonna not be done this week.
It's not. It's they actually play the game 7 is next Saturday. So, and I don't think it's going to be over by the time we talk next.
Yeah, because it'll be played that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
So next series, Vegas and Minnesota, and Minnesota has a 2-1 lead, and it's in Minnesota. They play today at 1:00 Pacific Standard Time.
Ooh.
Do the Wild take a 3-1 lead?
They've looked good the last 2 games. I mean, it's not like it was overtime game. Wasn't it both 5-2? Both games?
The first, yeah, it was 4-2 Knights game 1, 5-2 Wild, and then 5-2 Wild. Yeah.
Yeah. So they won by 3 goals twice in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I say it's over by
You say it's
Friday.
Game 6 is on Thursday.
It's over by Friday.
Okay. You say Wild win in Game 6?
I'm hoping.
I wouldn't mind that. And then the one that we already talked about, Kings and Oilers. Do we need to really get into that one as much? But Game 6 is Thursday. Is it over?
I think it's over.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think it's over on Thursday.
Okay. We're not going to give winners, or is that just an assumption we're making?
It's just an assumption we're making. All right. So we did a playoff recap. Man, we're rolling today. We do have one question on Instagram from Kyle Carr from Locked On Ducks, which I was on another episode this last week. So please go check it out. He asked, who will the Ducks target in the offseason to come over player-wise? I have like my top 3, I would say. Like, I would say Marner, obviously. I think that's an obvious one. Nikolai Ehlers would be number 2. And I kind of have a tie for number 3 as long as we don't overpay for them. But I'm kind of thinking John Tavares or Sam Bennett for the Ducks, as long as we don't overpay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
don't think Tavares is doing it, but
if you want to bring the excitement back to the Ducks, and yes, Kyle, this is the dark side of the royally quack, according to you, when you greeted Cody.
The better half. He's not wrong.
Well, yeah, I know you'd say that.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'll go with the dark side. It's okay. I think Marner would bring excitement to Anaheim. He's that guy who scores, helps others score. And one thing they really need is scoring.
And he's good defensively too, as well.
Well, you always want the 200-foot players as much as you can. So I think he would be by far the number 1. Going away from that, I mean, the only thing about Tavares is he's not a young guy.
No, and I'd give him like a 2-year deal.
You know, Bennett, I think he's going to stay in Florida. I think they want to keep him in Florida. I don't think that he's going to be available. Now, Tavares might be, because he is getting older, and you know, he's got a pretty big contract. And one thing is Toronto is they have cap problems. So if he left, I mean, obviously, I think it would hurt them, because I think he's been key for them this year. One of the key players. He has definitely played better than he has on the previous 2 seasons. But I'd be interested in, Kyle, what you think.
Yeah. So, I mean, we kind of talked about like the Ducks review this last season, like what our favorite moments and stuff like that, and who we thought we would want as coaches. You know, I know I broke the news last week because I was ready to go off on the last episode, but then after the firing of Cronin, I just couldn't take the smile off my face. It felt like so. But all right, I'm gonna make this a reel. Ready? I'm gonna ask our listeners, who are your top 3 players you guys want to bring to Anaheim this offseason, either by free agency or by trade, and make it realistic, please. And who are your top 3 coaches? I want to hear from our listeners as well on that.
Sounds good.
Yep.
I'd like to hear that too. I
Yep.
mean, like I said, one thing I am is I'm a hockey fan first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Kings fan second.
Yeah.
And I don't hate the Ducks like a lot of Kings fans do. I mean, one of my favorite players is a Duck. We went to the Angel game on Saturday night and got the big A with the Millennium Falcon on it. And yes, and I made a trade with my son because he wanted one because he did not go. And
Well, I
got
couldn't go because I was on call at work.
yeah. And I traded for a Timu Solani bobblehead thing. So which I'm very proud of. Did you got the Yes, that's the one.
We had an extra one, so and I'm a big Star Wars nerd, so that's why I was like, I want one.
Well, what was funny is we're coming home and we got stuck we got stuck there for 45 minutes and hardly moved at the big A, Cody. And
wait. Mom said, wait, who made the trade?
I was going to get to that. Let me finish.
Mm.
I was talking to your mom and I go, Cody really wants one of those. And I go, I think we need to make a trade and because he kind of promised me that Timu Solani bobblehead when he went.
I
And
forgot.
I did not get it. So I said something about the trade, and before I could bring it up, your mom took the bull by the horns, and she had the trade made before I got to say a word. So which is okay.
I thought it was
I'm
a
sure
good trade.
I'm sure it came better from mom than me, anyways.
Yeah. Hey, I did get you guys a Shigeru bobblehead too. Last year. I think it was last year or this last year. No, it was the year before.
I guess mom must have that because I don't know where that's at.
Yeah. Which I'm glad I got that because that was I like Shigeru. His number should be in the rafters at the Ponda. Just saying.
Yeah, well, I've got a Getzlav. What was the other one?
Kessler.
Yeah, Kessler. Ones that I got from a guy at work.
I think I actually have another Timu one, but it's a different Timu one. I got the Shigeru one. And then when we were in Seattle, I got a Jordan Eberle one, but it was like an opening day for baseball weekend one. And I think he's wearing a Mariners hat. So I kept that one. I have more warm-up pucks than bobbleheads. Oh, and I think I have is that a Getzlaff? Oh no, it's a Mike Trout. It's Mike Trout in a Ducks jersey for I think Ducks night.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and he has a hockey stick. And I think he's missing one of his front teeth as a little.
I got a Mike Trout at work.
You got a Mike Trout at work?
Yeah. Actually,
Is he nice?
Yeah. Well, Mike Trout, like one of the giveaways they had one night, and it was at a white elephant thing. We went to a Christmas party.
Yeah.
And that's what I picked. And nobody took it away from me. And I was so excited.
I think I can't remember where I have it, but one of the guys at my a couple jobs ago, he was a big Ducks fan too. And when I left this job, he was at Getzlaf's last game. And he actually gave me one of the extra, I think it was like a Getzlaf jersey towel. I gotta find it. I don't remember exactly where I put it. This was like years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago. I gotta find that.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
I still
cool.
have. I think I still have one of the programs from when Getzlaf broke the Ducks record for most points in a season. I was at that game.
So here's a thought.
Hmm.
Is there anybody currently playing for the Ducks that you think might break that record?
Yes. If these two guys are longtime Ducks, I think they could break the record. I think they both. There's two players I have in mind,
Okay. I'm
and
listening.
one of them may shock you. The first one is Leo Carlson.
Okay, that does not shock me.
Yeah, I know that. But my second one is if things continue with these two players, if they stay together, I think Cutter Gauthier could do it too.
Okay, two guys I was thinking of.
Okay. I mean, who but if we get a new coach and Zegras goes back to how he was, doing 60-point seasons, or more, I think Zegras could have a chance too. As long as this next coach actually plays Zegras at center.
Well, that would happen if he'd have to have some big scoring seasons.
Yeah.
Because he's what, 24? 25?
I think he's 24. He's about to
Or
be
he'd have to
25.
play a long time.
Yeah.
He'd have to start scoring, 80, 90 points.
Yeah. But
So,
all right. Well, we have no other questions unless you have anything else.
actually, I didn't even think of a trivia question.
Yeah.
So,
well, before we head out and before I get into the outro, I'm still working. I'm gonna try to work on it later today. But I plan on having you guys, our listeners, on YouTube or audio, whichever way you listen to it. I'm gonna put out a link for you guys to grade the Ducks and Kings. We want to hear what you guys think of the Ducks and Kings seasons, and then when we do our grading episodes, we'll tell you, or we'll put on the podcast what you guys put as the grades as well. I want to hear from our fans.
yes, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Not just our opinions. Let's hear
Not
your
just
opinions.
I want to hear everyone else's opinions and any Kings fans that want to come on too and talk grades. Let me know. Hit us up in the DMs and maybe we can have you on as a special guest when we do King stuff.
Oh, that would be exciting.
Yeah. So any Kings fans, let me know. Or let us know.
Kings Ducks fans.
Yeah. I already have a couple ideas for people to bring on for Duck stuff, but we have someone that crashed the net. Sup, everyone?
Hey, how are you guys?
So I am excited that we can, have other people on and talk just Kings or just Ducks. That's what I would like for a couple episodes.
That would be fun. I always enjoy having a guest and getting in another opinion. It was fun to have Eddie Garcia on from the Locked On Kings and Kyle Carr from Locked On Ducks. And then obviously we have a couple of staples, Adam Broll, good buddy of ours. And maybe next week we might have Eric Rodriguez back.
Yep.
And he spent 8 days. Oh, thanks, guys.
Yep. He said, Wild fan here. Hey, we're rooting for your Wild right now over Vegas. That's what we both predicted.
Yes, absolutely. And then hopefully we'll have Eric on next week. He's the one that we went through the teams before the season on who we all thought might make it to the Stanley Cup final or playoffs and finals, which I have only some memory of, Cody. So I'm hoping that you find where you wrote all that down.
I think I may have it like right here to my left somewhere in my jumbled of mess. And we do have one question real quick. Honest question: is San Diego in the AHL playoffs? I think they were. I don't think they made it. No,
No,
I believe they were.
they did not make it.
Yeah, yeah. They looked good. They looked good towards the end, and then just crashed out. No pun intended on that.
Pun intended, I think, Cody. Pun intended.
So, but yeah, we want to hear from you listeners on your Ducks grades, your Kings grades, and if and he said, any Kings fans, if you want to come on, all you really need is a webcam and wired headphones and a mic with it, and we would love to have you on and join my dad and talk Kings.
Yeah.
So just let us know. Hit us up in the DMs. Slide in the DMs. So, all right. Well, other than that, we are on all audio podcast. Apple, Spotify, Amazon, iHeart. Go on there, download, and listen to us, and tell us what you think. While you're on those audio podcasts, if you have a chance to leave us a review or rating, we would really appreciate if you did. Also, please follow us on Twitch or YouTube and give us a follow on there. That way you never miss a live stream. And then also, while you're on YouTube, please like the video. That would really appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button as well. Even you audio listeners, go on YouTube and just hit a like and hit the subscribe button. We would really appreciate it. I would like to get us at least to 30 subscribers by the end of the playoffs. Help us reach that goal. Please. We'd really appreciate it.
Yes, we would.
So on that,
we don't survive without you guys.
That is very true.
So,
and then on that, please go follow our network people with at Elite Sports and Entertainment Network. Give them a follow. They have a bunch of shows to listen to, and I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a bunch of shows, especially you football fans, for the draft that just happened. So it's still going on, I believe, right now. And someone still hasn't been picked yet.
Oh, Sanders hasn't been picked yet.
Yeah. So
somebody's gonna pick him up because he's a project, I think.
Yeah. So, but on that, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. Go Kings, go!
Let's go Ducks.
Beat those Oilers. Beat those Oilers. Beat those Oilers.
Rocked by Henry. Byfield quick to the puck. Kopitar for Kempe. Kempe and Kopitar again. Kuzmenko and Byfield patrolling the front of the net. Comes for Coops and confidence. Kempe.
A father and son apart so strong. Talking hockey all day long. Royally quack, their podcast show. Sharing stories, highs and lows. From the Kings to the Ducks they go. Shout and go Kings go. My backstage cheer. A father and son, their passion sincere on the ice. Their love appears through the highs and lows in the years.
Kempe and Kopitar again. Kuzmenko and Byfield patrolling the front of the net. Comes for Coops and confidence.